Welcome to your Mamamoon podcast, with interviews and tips from real life for your pregnancy journey from belly to baby.
We're Tessa and Nina, and we are passionate about motherhood. Our goal is to give you tools towards a beautiful and empowering experience during labor and a smooth entry into life as a mom. So welcome to the Mamamoon podcast. We are very happy today to have with us Delphine, who is French Kraamzorg in Amsterdam. And for those who are not familiar with the word Kraamzorg, because it's very Dutch, she's an independent nurse focusing on the postpartum period, focusing on the mom, on the baby just after birth. Super happy to have you with us, to share your wisdom. So before we start, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you very much for inviting me here at the Mamamoon podcast. I'm very glad. This is my first interview in English. Well, I'm French, so maybe you'll hear it on my accent when I talk, but they say it's cute, so let's hope. I'm a Kraamzorg. I'm a Dutch Kraamzorg. I speak Dutch because I grew up in Amsterdam. And I came back after 26 years of living in Paris. I came back for love. I came back to marry my teenage lover. So that's why first I speak Dutch, and that's why second I'm back in Holland. And that is why third, my children were born in Paris. So myself, I had no Kraamzorg. But I'm trying to repair that while I'm taking care of all the other mamas. And so I started to be a Kraamzorg not very long time ago, because for a very long time I was working in a bank. And I had a nice contract, I had a nice job, I had nice colleagues, but I was thinking, like, at the end of the day, what haven't I done today? And basically was nothing. So I decided to choose another way, and I recycled myself. I don't really know if I can say it like that, but I started some new study and to become a Kraamzorg. So I have my Dutch degree. I work like as a Dutch Kraamzorg with all the same protocols and the same rules, let's say. But my clients are, for 100%, are expats in Amsterdam. And for 90% French people are mixed couples. So French plus Dutch, whatever. So you can imagine everything we have here in Amsterdam, which is a really melting pot city. And so I have 3 children. They're teenager, young adults now, and a stepson, a bonus child. So we are 4, but my oldest son lives in Paris, and the other, they live with me, and my stepson comes in the weekend. So sometimes it's very busy family. So that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, so what we actually, because we started a little bit also about Kraamzorg, but it's the concept which is very familiar for us here in the Netherlands, not so much familiar outside. So if you can tell us a little bit more about it.
Yes. Sure. So Kraamzorg means it's maternity nurse. In fact, in Holland, 13% of the mamas are giving birth at home. So that's a lot compared, for example, to France, which is like 0.1% or something like that, like nothing. And that is cultural. It's always have been like that. So the concept of Kraamzorg exists since more than 100 years, but since after the Second World War, they created a more professional job, like with ladies that were coached and trained as a medical assistant for first the midwives and second for the mothers. So basically, I am with the babies and with the mothers at day 1 of the birth. And sometimes earlier, because we also assist the midwives at home when they give birth, when the mamas give birth at home, then we assist the midwives. So and then we stay, and then we come back the next day, and we stay like 8 to 10 days with the parents in the new baby and the newborn, and we do all the medical checks, medical control. We are also we are giving a lot of information for the new parents. We are also taking care of the house, so we're taking care of the fact that we're not clean. I'm not a cleaning lady, but I'm taking care of the house so that it's comfortable for them. So what I do daily is to clean the toilets and the bathroom and the kitchen, because that needs to be very clean because of the infections that we don't want to have for the mamas. And for the rest, I'm also preparing the breakfast, sometimes the lunch, and as I'm French, of course, lunch is very important. So yes, we are doing the lunch. And if needed, I go to the grocery to buy some things if they are missing something in the house. And if they have like other children, we are also there to take care of the fact that the family is coming up together. So I'm not a babysitter, but I'm of course taking care of the other children when the mother is breastfeeding, or if there is any need, then I'm there. But I am not taking them to school, for example. That I ask or the papa or the second mama, or I find the solution with them to find someone who is going to bring the other child to school, because I'm staying just 8 days. So after me leaving, they will have to find a solution. So the best thing is to help them to find a solution at the beginning. So that's what we are doing.
It's such a cool concept. I mean, the thought of having somebody with you in those first 8 to 10 days, even if it's right after you gave birth at home, but even if you stayed in a hospital for a few days and then come home, the need is still there, right? Because you're not recovered all of a sudden, but you come to a house that needs tending to, you need to recover, you need food, you need to learn how to deal with this baby. From my own experience, I stayed in hospital for 3 days, like it's normal in Germany. But then you come home and you're like, I was ready. After the first night, I was devastated. I was ready to go back to the hospital, and I really didn't know what to do. The baby was crying and I had no idea what we were doing. So having somebody around that can help with that, really having somebody around is brilliant. And I mean, I really think it's a concept that every country should have. We have in Germany and in many other countries as well, we have midwives that come in every day or every other day after birth for a certain period of time. But they're there an hour or so. They check in on the baby, they weigh, they maybe check the mother, the uterus, stuff like that. But then they're gone again. And for the rest of those 24 hours a day, 23 hours a day, you're on your own. Yes, and so I really, really love the concept of Kraamzorg. It's such a useful concept.
It's more or less the same in France. The mothers are staying between 3 and 5 days, including night, of course. I'm not staying during the night, so I have to
sleep
everybody. But I also have a life and a family and a husband, so I'm going home. But it's funny because sometimes the people, they say, "But do you also stay? Do you stay here for the night?" I said, "No, I'm going home, but I'll be back tomorrow." But yeah, it's indeed hard. And when they stay at home, when they go to the hospital in Holland, usually they go home just after a few hours after the birth. So if you give birth during the night and if you recover quite quickly, if it's 5 a.m., then you go home. You don't stay to wait that it's 8 a.m. or 9 or whatever. You just go home. And for expat mamas, sometimes they say, "But how? Why?"
It's strange, and at the same time, it's great because I found staying in the hospital super stressful because it was busy and there were people all the time, and I would have loved to go home, but
and especially now during this Corona time, it's not always easy, or you're not wishing to stay at the hospital. That's right.
So but now I mean, imagine that we've got a lot of listeners in Germany and also in the whole of Europe, actually. So when I'm not in the Netherlands and there is no Kraamzorg, like you are not there.
Yeah.
How, as a mom, would you advise, or how do you advise that moms prepare for the first few days after, after coming home with the baby?
Well, I have a few tips. The first tip is to try to find someone that you can call a help mama. What we say in France is an aide-maman. So that is someone that you trust, but it shouldn't necessarily be someone that is very close to you, but it can be. So it can be a friend, a neighbor, your mother, if you really like her, your stepmother, whatever. I mean, of course you like your mother, but I mean to have your mother all the time with you, that is what I mean. So to have someone that you can ask to be with you, to help you at that time. It also can be a friend, but it has to be very clear that when you are asking to this woman to come to you at that moment, it's not because she wants to cuddle the baby. It's not because she wants to be there with you and having a coffee. It's not that, because you can do that after. On those very first moments, what you are expecting and what you are going to ask is someone that will be there to help you to do the lunch, to prepare, for example, to clean the house, to just to be there for you, to help you. So it's not easy to find, but it's possible. And you also can prepare food. I mean, you can prepare like vegetable curries, you can prepare some soup, you can prepare some broth, you can prepare some banana bread, and all those very nice dishes you just put in the freezer, so that you have for every day, like daily meals that you just have to warm up. And it's important after the birth to eat warm, because your belly is recovering from to give birth. And it's important that you give some easy stuff to eat, so for your digestion. And also because the first time it's not easy to go to the toilet, so take it easy. And that's why all those meals are very, very good. But you can find that a lot on internet. It's quite easy to find. It's like food after the birth, and then you will find a lot. You also prepare yourself. That's really important to the birth, so that you are prepared in your head and in your body. So you can do, for example, like sophrology. You can do hypnobirthing. I did sophrology and prenatal song when I was pregnant, and I did some yoga also. You also can do that. Of course, you can do some meditation to feel calm, and you can do that before the birth. After the birth, I have bad news. It's going to be complicated, but it's not impossible. It's it's only
I love
how
that.
you are how you are going to organize yourself. Because the key of everything after the birth, and I'm saying that to all my clients, is the organization in your house. If you know where you are going, if you have like steps in the week, then it's less complicated than when you don't know what to do. So organization. Those are my tips.
Yeah, no, but absolutely useful, and so true. And then let's say, those are the first days, and then I mean, yeah, it's of course it's all upside down, and you kind of discover yourself and your baby and everything. But let's say that the first 2-3 weeks are gone. So whether you had like a Kraamzorg help with yourself or not, how, or maybe from this angle, so how do you work with your parents to prepare them for not having you around?
Yes. Well, first of all, I teach them everything I know. So we are working on that week. So I learn them to recognize what the baby is saying. I recognize them. I tell them. I show them how to talk to the baby. And I'm always saying the baby is talking to you, and the baby is acting so that you understand what the baby is saying. They are marvelous, those babies. They are really amazing. And people say, sometimes they say to me, but I don't, you talk to him or something like that, or they talk to you. And yes, they do. I really understand what there is when I have the baby and the baby is crying, and the parents say, oh, the baby is crying, the baby is crying. I say, yes, I know. Try this, try that. And usually it works. Not always, of course, but usually it works. And sometimes, the baby just wants to cry. And sometimes you are grumpy. Sometimes I'm grumpy. Sometimes the baby is grumpy. The baby is a human being, and that's okay. And it's not always that you have to find a solution, and you cannot control that. And I know that it's really hard to understand that you cannot control the baby. Bad news again. But yeah. But
Love
when
it.
you say to your baby, okay, my baby, mon bébé, I see that today you're not very well. I see that you're crying, or that you're grumpy, or maybe you have like your belly is hurting. Maybe you want to have like more breastfeeding, but I already gave you like 4 hours. I'm tired. Then you put some words on the emotions, and believe me, it helps. Really, it helps. And also, there is something that is really important, is to sleep when the baby is sleeping. Don't say, oh, okay, the baby is sleeping, I'm going to work. The baby is sleeping, I'm going to watch a series. The baby is sleeping, I'm going to do the wash. No, the baby is sleeping, you are sleeping. That is my advice. I know it's hard because you want to do 100 other things. Do that before or after. And even if your house is a little bit in a mess for a few weeks, okay, it's fine, but sleep. Because if you are not fresh, let's say it like that, then it's going to be very hard. Yes.
Mm.
And usually there's a partner, there's a papa or a second mama. So good news. I have a good news. Ask the papa or the second mama. Ask them to do this, ask them to do that. And why should you ask? Usually they know, they do. I mean, it's not that they help you because they're not helping you, it's their house. So they are doing it. But trust them and just say, okay, now the baby's sleeping, I'm sleeping, bye-bye. Just go. Be selfish. Yeah, that's it's so important.
Oh, amazing. So you're also teaching them a whole new parent, like a partner dynamic. I love that. That's a really good lesson to learn as well, as hard as it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's part of my job to teach them to be parents together.
Yeah.
They used to be like a couple, they used to be lovers. Okay, and now they have to share and their love and their time and their energy and their nights. So yes, of course.
Yeah, big nod. Yes, big nod. Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah.
So
Still
I mean,
learning.
you already, and it also takes a while to get used to it. It's like it's not that it's just 8
Yeah.
days and then you're there. So you already said you're teaching them everything you know, and it's all about organization and organizing the house. So when it then comes to find that new rhythm and settle in the new reality of being a parent,
Mhm.
you already gave a lot of tips how you can make it easier on yourself, right? But is it best to manage yourself or try to figure it all out yourself, or are there activities that you would talk to the rest of the family or to friends about, or maybe neighbors could help with? How do I organize myself and how do I organize a tribe?
Well, if you have still this very good friend or mother or stepmother or cousin or whatever that is your help mama, your aide-maman, then push it a little bit longer. Not every day, but yeah, you always can ask her to be around. Usually I say her because usually it's a woman, but of course it can be a man. They also can do a lot, so don't feel shy. If it's a man, it's a man. So yes, you can do that. And if you have friends are coming along, so like say baby is 3 weeks old, say, oh, want to see you, blah blah blah. Okay, fine, bring food with you. It's nice, but you bring the food and then we see each other. Now also don't be shy to ask for that, because you're tired. The baby is taking a lot of energy, a lot of time. So spending some time together, yes, but getting tired, more tired for that, moi, not really. And the family, it's important that they also understand that you are a new mama and that you're tired. And if it's your second child, then you're also taking care of the first one. And while you're taking care of the first one, you know what is coming up? This guilty feeling from, oh my God, I'm not taking enough time with my first and with my second and with my second and with my first. That is the feeling that have all the mamas of 2 or 3 or 4 children. But when it comes to 4, you are used to it, I must say.
So that's the best strategy is just keep on having children, so eventually the guilt will go away.
That is true. That is true, because you are used to it, you can deal with it, and it's fine. But really, when you have 2 children, you have that feeling a lot, really, because you cannot give enough time. You are one person with 2 hands. Sometimes I say to my children, I'm not Shiva, you know, this Indian god with all the hands, like, ooh. I just have 2 hands, and that's fine.
I think that's a brilliant quote. Hey, Mama, you're not Shiva. Exactly. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, but it's the truth. And if you cannot do, in Dutch they say, you cannot do better than your best. So Dutch. So the best is already good. So do that. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so, I think also what you say is sometimes we have to be told that we have to take care of ourselves. And that can be, like you say, like either a friend or a mom or how is it? Help Mama?
Help Mama, yeah, aide-maman.
Help Mama,
yeah.
aide-maman. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
aide-maman, which is the name of my company, aide-maman-amsterdam, AMA. Yeah. And maybe you also heard about, I choose that name because maybe you heard about Amma, which is written with 2 M's. And Amma is an Indian woman that is embracing the world. She's giving cuddles to everybody. And when I found out that, and okay, this is what I want to be. I want to be an Amma. So I want to embrace the world also and take care of all the mamas and all the babies and also the papas and the partners. Yeah, that's my goal.
And for the baby, so we if you would think about like those first weeks as well, I mean, of course babies, they are like puzzles, right? You need to figure them out. But what's the important thing for us to take care of when it comes to the baby? Like,
well, the very first, for me, is the most important, and that is what I told you already, is talk to the baby. Really, that is the most important. I teach my parents to talk to the babies. In the beginning, I see them, they go like, huh, what is she saying? Huh, what? And then they see me talking, and I say, blah, 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 and I say in French, oh, tu as un beau bébé, or in Dutch, oh, je bent een mooie babytje, or in English, oh, you look so good today, you're such a nice baby, and I'm so happy to be with you. And then, and then. The parents are very, very looking like, especially when I work with Dutch parents, because sometimes I work for Kraambureaus, so I'm going to families that I don't know. That is another part of my job. So sometimes I go working for Dutch people, and then they look at me like, what is she doing? And then I say, I can talk any language. The baby will understand me, because what they understand is what I'm saying, the feeling, the meaning of my sentence, and the intention that I'm putting in the words. And it's really amazing that. So talk to your baby. You can do the skin on skin like for a very long time. Okay, my oldest, he's 22. I won't do some skin on skin with him anymore because I'm not sure that he will love it. But still, I love cuddling him. So take them in your arms. There is never it's never ending, that taking your baby in your arms. Don't let people say to you, oh, you are going to spoil him if he stays the whole time in your arms. Fine, let them spoil your baby. I mean, the babies can't be spoiled with that. That is not possible. That is very important to know.
I think that's a really good learning. I think it's also different in our generation. The previous generation was a lot about not spoiling and sort of being tough on the baby already. And
Yes.
and I was also told all the time, cuddle, cuddle, cuddle. You can't spoil him. Once they get a year and a half, then you can start thinking about not spoiling them. But before that, there is no way you can't spoil
Yes,
them with too much love, really,
definitely,
right?
definitely. And also after, and also sometimes I say, yeah, but I don't want to. Some people, they don't want to put some limits to the children after, when you have this terrible two moment that is coming, and then they are still in the, oh, love, love, cuddle, cuddle. But no, at that moment, this is also parenting. Then you have to switch, and you're a parent, you're not a friend, and you have to put a limit, because if you don't put a limit, the children, they don't know. And you can explain, of course, once, twice, and at the third time you say, I already explained you twice, now you know. And if you don't know, then maybe I haven't explained it enough to you. What didn't you understand? And there are two, but they exactly know what you mean. So put the limit, and it's not that you are not friendly, or that is not that you are not a good parent. Of course you are, but there are some things that are really not possible. For example, you're not shouting to your parents, you're not hitting your parents, you're not throwing with food. I mean, it's base, for me, from my education.
Might be different somewhere else.
Agree.
Yeah, no, totally true. So Delphine, you already briefly said in a sort of side sentence, sleep when your baby sleeps, because you mama need to be well rested, and you need to feel
Definitely.
good. And I think it's one of the most important aspects of postpartum recovery, right? The physical recovery, yes, it's there, and getting to know the baby, absolutely. But the one thing that new moms forget very quickly, and second-time moms and third-time moms probably even quicker, because it's so much busier, is their mental recovery. So there is this whole craziness of no sleep, hormones going everywhere, breastfeeding works or doesn't work. How do I make sure I don't forget myself if I'm in that situation as a new mom?
Yes, because now we are talking in a situation that when everything is going well, of course, we all know that baby blues or postpartum depression that exists. And when it comes to a woman, then they feel ashamed, they feel guilty, they feel, of course, insecure, especially they feel ashamed. They don't talk about it. Everybody is expecting from you that you're happy. Oh, you have such a nice baby. Oh, this is so nice. Oh, blah, blah. When you are thinking, okay, this is a hell. Why do I have a baby? And that is so complicated for those women to talk about it. So if you have that, you that is listening to me now while I'm in your ears, please don't stay alone. Go and talk to it. Go to your GP. Go to a friend. Go to your midwife. Go back to your midwife. Go and talk to someone you trust. And it's okay. It's fine, because every parent at one point have that thought, like, why have I done this? And it's okay. So it's really important that you go and find some help, because at that moment you need some help. And sometimes it's just that you are going to talk, and maybe someone is going to inform you, and sometimes you really need like more help. I'm not a specialist, but I know that there are solutions. And it's important for you, first of all, that you feel okay, and that you recover from that. And don't feel guilty. Really, it's important. There is something that can happen, and that is really, really complicated for the new parents, because when you don't have enough sleep, when the baby is crying, when you don't feel well, then you get that very bad energy, and you can have this problem that we call the shaken baby syndrome. It's that when the baby is crying all the time, and you want to sleep, and you just had a very bad day, or you just had an argue with your partner or whatever, and then you have this baby that is crying. I'm not going to say it's normal, but it can happen that you take the baby and that you just want to say, shut up and stop with crying, I want to sleep. So if you feel that, coming up in your body, because you feel it, you feel the anger, like you feel it, you feel your muscles and everything. And if you feel that, put the baby in the bed. Okay, the baby is crying, you don't care, put the baby in the bed and go. Just go, leave the house and go and get some help. If it's during the night, then just go outside, take a breath, try to empty this bad energy. And if the baby is crying at that moment, it's okay, because then you're a good parent, then you're taking care of him, because you are taking care of yourself. And that is really important. And call someone, go and call someone. Really, if you feel that it goes that far, get some help. That's important. I know it's a bit sad, but it's really important. So don't stay alone. Also, when you are with a baby, when you're taking care of a baby, usually the partner is going back to work and you're alone all day. And being with a newborn, it's hard because you don't have any conversation. So also with that, you can go and get some help. You have like mama cafes that exist everywhere in the world. You can find it easily. Even if you're expat in anywhere, you can find a mama cafe. On Facebook, you have a lot of mama groups, also from the city where you are. Go and get some help, and you will see you are not alone. Every mother finds it hard.
I think that's so important to understand that you can talk about it and understand that you're not alone. Everybody has the same experience. I know that I had moments when I sat crying on the couch because I just felt inadequate and not good enough and didn't know what I was doing and felt really, really bad. And when you feel that you're the only one in the whole world who has that problem, then the problem weighs so much.
Yes,
and
especially
when you talk about
night.
it, you realize I'm not the only one, and it's okay.
Yes.
There's help, or it will pass, or no.
Yes, definitely. So yes, what I'm saying is, especially during the night, then you really can feel alone and feel you have the feeling that you're all alone in this situation, but really you're not. So go and get some help. People talk about it now. It's something that is known. So please.
Yeah, somebody once told me that the kids, they take the best out of you, but also the worst.
Can be, yeah.
And that's indeed how you kind of may feel. And that's normal. Yeah.
Yes.
Learning every day. Yeah? And so we talked about the moms, we talked about the babies. How about the partners?
Well, the partners, they it's a little bit different when you have like a father, so a man, and when you have a mother, because a mother, she is a woman, she knows about the hormones. And when I work and I have two mamas, and then I say day 4, I say, okay, this is day 4, you can expect the hormones. And then she knows what I'm talking about. So that's really fun, because we as women, we know that sometimes when you have your periods, you feel like ups and downs and you don't really know why. And it's more or less the same. It can be more than less, but it happens. But when you're talking to a man, that you say, okay, he says, okay, the birth is done, the baby is here, wow. And then say, no, it starts now. So be careful on day 4. The hormones are going down, and the breastfeeding is going up, and the baby is here. Suddenly you have this, the reality, you are parents, and sometimes it's very hard. So when I'm with the parents, when the papas or the second mamas, I take a lot of time to talk with them, to also to know what they are expecting from the parent, for the parenthood, and how they want to to be, and how they were raised up. And well, we have like very nice conversation, and it's important that also the woman, the mama, gives the papa or the second mother, but usually it's the papa, enough space, so you can delegate easily. They know, and they can also take the baby during the night. Also, often during the first week, I say, okay, I know it's not very friendly for you, but try to make some shift. So maybe the papas take the first shift, you take the second shift, and even if you're breastfeeding, but then you can sleep 3 hours. If the baby is making some noise or something like that, then you can sleep the both of you. If you are making shift, then you sleep 3 hours, but and in between you have the breastfeeding or the bottle. So that is an advice that yeah that works. I see it in the morning. They say, oh yeah, we did shift and it works really well. so yeah, that's a good one. So yes, you can delegate easily, and also to talk to them, talk about your feelings, and because for the fathers, they while you're pregnant, they know that they're going to be fathers and or a second mama, but they for the rest they don't know. In fact, they really they see your belly is moving and you get a so no it's strange for them. So they like to prepare the room, they like to prepare they like to prepare the cocoon for the baby, and so let them invest themselves in that. So if they want to go back to IKEA 3 times because they want to see it again, go, let them. It's important so that they take an action in that parenthood. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I have to say that I think same like you said, with the second, with the third, with the fourth, whatever.
Yeah.
But the biggest shift is really with the first one, because that's also when I teach now in my classes, when I work with the couples, it's like, you think that those are hormones, but just wait for the afterbirth hormones. It's like, it's a completely different story. That's so true. But I can imagine that it's hard to understand for the partners.
Yes, it is.
Important
It
topic.
is really important. It is because it's nothing that they know.
Yeah.
Okay, they see that sometimes you're grumpy because you have your periods, and but that's it. But they don't really understand what you are recovering from, and that it's like a marathon, that you had, that your body has the same feelings as when you run a marathon without preparing yourself for the marathon and without recovering for the marathon, because then you have to go directly to the baby. So no, it's hard, really.
Yeah.
But
and at the
they
same
want
time,
to help. They are very involved. They really want to help. They want to be there. They want to participate. And well, the papas and the mamas I see, the second mamas, they are very involved.
it's also hard for them, I think, because as pregnant moms, you have 9 months of that emotional bonding. And as you said, the partners are looking at it a little bit from the outside, right? And then all of a sudden it's there. And then also I think as mamas, we tend to be very protective of the baby. So we also need to learn that the other parent is just as well capable of taking care of this baby, and they need the space and the trust to actually be there and be part of this whole thing as well, right?
And it's really funny because babies, when they are born, they usually look a lot like the papas, and they say that it's because the father needs to recognize the baby like his baby, and so I'm very happy to tell them, oh, it looks really like you, and say, oh yeah yeah. They like that. But it's true, it's really true. Sometimes you have like mini copy
of the dad. Yeah, funny.
Yeah,
I have 2 at home.
Oh yeah.
mini copies. Yeah,
Mini Robin.
brilliant. Cool. I think we've already got so much input. It's really, really cool to talk to you. Maybe you already said that during postpartum, food is super important for mom and we should eat warm. And you've already said eat vegetable curries and banana bread. So you already threw out a few tips there. What are your favorite postpartum recipes that moms and dads should look up on the internet?
Well, soup is really important, and broth especially, because that is warm and it's easy to digest. One of my favorites that I always make in the for the mamas, and I do my recipe like often on Instagram. So it's an overnight oat, and it's made of oat, of chia seeds, of peanut butter, of mashed banana, of cinnamon or honey if you don't like cinnamon. And you can add the milk you like. So it can be almond milk, soya, normal milk, I mean normal cow milk, or whatever milk you like. And then you match everything together. You mix it and you leave it in the fridge for one night at least. And it's a really good one because you can have it when you are breastfeeding. It can be that you are hungry during the night, and so you can get one of those overnight oats like easily during the night. And in the morning, when you have a bit more time, let's say when the Kraamzorg is coming and she's preparing it for you, then sometimes I warm it a little bit up and I add like fresh fruits and that kind of things. And or you can also add like cashew nuts or fresh fruits, whatever you like, in fact.
You made me really hungry, by the way.
Yeah, I need the recipe, definitely.
Yes. Well, and then you can have it, and it's really good to eat. The taste is amazing. You have everything you need, and it's easy to make. And so I always, when I'm at the families, I find like small pots of jam or from tomato sauce, and then I keep them. I always find it. And then I make it, and when I leave, they say, "Oh, okay, please prepare some more." And then sometimes I receive a message, and they say, "Oh," when I after the 8 days, then they say, "Oh, we had this overnight oat this morning, and you were a little bit with us." So yes,
nice.
That's
Really
my
good.
tip.
I'm absolutely gonna look it up myself.
Yeah.
And so maybe just we talked the food. If you, lots of us, we love reading books when we are pregnant. First pregnancy, second, not always, but first one. If you would pick a book that you would say like, hey, you should read this one, whether to prepare yourself or maybe just to enjoy it, to put yourself in the right spirit for having your baby.
Yes. Well, I choose 3 books. Usually I don't really read in English. So I'll have an English book, a French book, and a Dutch book. So I don't have German books. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My English book is this one. I don't know if you can see it well. It's Bringing Up Baby. It was written by Pamela Druckerman, and it's the story of an American woman married to an English man, having a baby in Paris. And she is like very surprised how French mothers are raising up their children, because yes, I told you, there are things that you do and there are things that you don't do, and you're not throwing the food. So I like that. It's really a humor. I love it. The French book is Le Mois d'Or. Le Mois d'Or is a book to prepare your postpartum time. It means the golden month. Basically, it's the 40 days after the birth, and they give a lot of tips how to prepare yourself for that. There are also recipes in it. They also advise, I didn't told you, but they also advise in the book to prepare yourself a cozy corner in your house. It can be near your bed. It can be, a small place when you can go to feed or to have like a tea. And they also say that it's important to always be very warm. So to have like plaids, covers, blankets, merci. To stay warm. And the last is Veilig in de Kraamtijd, written by Beatrice Smulders. Beatrice Smulders is a Dutch midwife. She was very, very, very famous, and she worked a lot during the 90s, and she created a Kraam hotel, which is a place where you could go to give birth. So it was a place, in a hotel, you could go, and then you had your baby, the midwife, and the Kraamzorg, and then you could stay for 1 or 2 days amazing.
Mm.
But that hotel was closed, but I just before they closed, I did my first birth there as a Kraamzorg. It was amazing. And she gives a lot of tips to prepare yourself for the kraamtijd, so for the time of the kraam, which is the moment just after the birth. And also she gives step by step everything what you can accept on day 1, on day 2, on day 3, etc., etc. And so that's a really nice book. So these are the books of the French jury.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Really good. We'll make sure that we put all of them in the
Yes.
in the show notes as well. Delphine, brilliant.
Yes.
It was so much information. I love the way you the passion you have for your profession and for your moms. It's great.
Yes, definitely.
One thing we always do at the end of this podcast is the golden tip, the Mamamoon golden tip. So we ask our interview guests to if you have like only one tip that you can give to mamas, which one is it? What would you say?
Okay, because I'm French, I want to do things like everybody. I have 2 tips because one is not enough.
Okay.
Okay, my very, very, very first advice really is never listen to other people's advice. That is the first one.
It.
Brilliant.
Really. Believe me, that is the first. And why? That is my second advice. It's because you have to trust your instinct. You know better than anyone else, even better than the husband or your papa or the second mama or whatever. If at that moment you think this is not okay, then it's not okay. And you know why. So don't go and ask, you know. That's why.
I love it. I'm gonna have it printed out in my house.
Yeah, it's probably the hardest advice to follow ever, but it's when it's such good advice. Absolutely.
Yes. So yes,
So
that
cool.
is true, and I still give a lot of advice. So on Instagram, I know that Kasia is following me a lot. I know you probably will put my Instagram on it, but it's ama_Kraamzorg_Française. And happy to
Perfect.
show you my overnight oat, for example.
Yes, exactly. I think that's one thing people should definitely contact you for. So we'll put your Instagram down in the show notes as well. Do you also have is there another way, like a website or anything else that people can look you up?
Yes, of course. My website is also aide-maman-amsterdam, but it's aide-maman-amsterdam.nl. But yes, if you also type just on Kraamzorg Française on Google, the Google is bringing you directly to me.
Perfect. So, brilliant. We'll make sure to link all of that in the notes of the episode, so people really can't miss you.
Yes, and this book of Le Mois d'Or was written by Céline Chadla, I didn't told you, and Marie Maé-Poulain, and I don't know if there are French people that are listening, but they have also a very nice Instagram account, and they give a lot of recipe, and they're very nice. They do a lot of live, so nice, and it's like Le Mois d'Or on Instagram, easy to find.
Oh, brilliant. Well, we'll also make sure we put the links in and
yes.
tag those people, so that's easy to find. Brilliant. Yes. Delphine, it was so good to have you. It was so much fun. A lot of energy. I love
I'm happy.
Thanks a lot for being with us. Everybody else, thanks a lot for listening in. Make sure, as usual, to like, comment, and share the podcast episode with every other mama there in the Netherlands and elsewhere that needs to know about Kraamzorg and postpartum care. And we love to hear from you. Let us know what you liked, how you prepared, and make sure to subscribe as well so you don't miss any new episodes of our podcast coming out soon. Thanks a lot.
Nice. And merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. And I just want to say at last, share it, especially if you think that there's a mama that needs help. More, it's better to share it once more than not enough.
Very wise words. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for listening to our Mamamoon podcast. We would love to see you again, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes.
Also, for more information and to stay up to date, check our website mamamoon.me and our Instagram and Facebook.